What are the 3 best rotator cuff exercises to build up a bulletproof shoulder? If you don't know, listen up. Although some people have a weak rotator cuff is not always the main cause of your shoulder pain. And however, many of you are going to flare up your shoulder by routinely doing these strengthening exercises over and over and over again and working through the pain. But you consistently flare things up again and again and again. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover the 3 best rotator cuff exercises to strengthen the cuff without causing those flare-ups, and these are based on research studies. And did I mention they're safe? The first exercise we're going to dive into is band pull apart external rotation using dumbbells. This is great for the back of the shoulders, and it's important that you keep your wrists apart as you do this. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into standing, you're going to grab a band, wrap it around the wrist. You're going to pull the band apart by getting full external rotation of the shoulders. Maintain that pull to keep resistance on the band. You're going to come all the way up in a Y position, otherwise known as shoulder scaption, all the way up as high as you can into full end range shoulder flexion. And you're going to feel the outer shoulders turn on and the lower traps at the mid lower back area around the spine. Now, this is a great exercise to do anywhere from 12 to 15 reps and do 3 sets. This is going to really help target and turn on the infraspinatus as well as the rear delts and the lower traps. And keep in mind, this is almost similar to doing shoulder presses, only we're doing a different plane of motion, which is going to take stress off of the rotator cuff if you've had some pain or damage to it in the past. And we're also using a band to add tension. So we have band resistance and dumbbell resistance. So we're including 2 different resistance profiles here to really hit those muscles on the head. And now, if you felt like that was a good exercise and you want more, we're going to dive into 2 others. But before we do, now, if you have questions or you're ready to fix your shoulder pain, get my free shoulder fix guide by joining my Facebook group, NTS Shoulder Pain Relief Method. Now, we're going to get into the second exercise here, which is called pendant external rotation. Now, this is great for the side of the shoulder, okay? Working the muscles around the shoulder, being the deltoids, and targeting more of the rotator cuff. Now, all you need for this is you can lay on an elevated surface like a bench or a PT table like you see me doing here, and you want to grab a yoga block and just make sure it covers the upper arm right before the elbow. Have everything from the elbow down to the wrist hanging off the edge of the table, and you're going to start an internally rotated position, almost like an 11, or you can actually think of it more like a hook, okay? And what you're going to do from here is you're going to grab a lightweight dumbbell. I'm using a 2-pound dumbbell here. You want to use anywhere from a 2 to a 5-pound dumbbell. You do not want to go heavier than that. And then from this internally rotated position, we're going to pull our arm up into full external rotation, and we're going to think about squeezing our shoulder blade back and down in a scooping motion as we do that. We do not want to elevate our shoulder blade too much like this, and we do not want to rock our body too much or move. That's why we're going to lock our abs in place. We're fully supported on that table. You can use a towel roll under your head, or you can kind of rest your head on your opposite arm. Up to you, whatever feels comfortable and keeps your head in neutral alignment with the mid back and low back. And for this exercise, because it's a little more challenging than the first one, we're going to lower the repetitions to about 2 to 3 sets of 6 to 8 repetitions. This is going to really target those outer shoulder muscles as well as some of the mid back area. And then moving on to our third and final best exercise for rotator cuff strength, we are going to move into the push-up plus. Now, this is great for shoulder blade health, mobility, and control. The important thing to note here is that you want to keep your pelvis tucked and abs engaged as you go through this exercise. So to get started, get into your normal push-up position, hands a little bit wider than shoulder width distance apart, push your feet together, make sure your trunk is in neutral alignment, and try not to elevate your butt too high, keep it in line with the trunk. You can do normal push-ups, squeezing the shoulder blades on the way down, then on the way up, instead of stopping normally what you would on a normal push-up, you're gonna push your arms forward and letting your shoulder blades wrap around the right and left-hand sides of the body, so you feel the scapular protraction occurring, okay? Now this scapular protraction is just somewhat of a small rounding of the mid-back by those shoulder blades wrapping around the sides, almost like wings, and it's gonna turn on the serratus anterior muscle, which is gonna help us avoid winging of our shoulder blade and help keep those shoulder blades locked against the rib cage and help them upwardly rotate and when we do any type of overhead lifting or some overhead reaching. And for this exercise, we're going to lower the reps even more because this is a harder one to do. We're going to keep it 5 to 6 reps for about 2 to 3 sets in total, and we're going to gear this towards the end of the workout. Now, you may be thinking, how do I know if these exercises are right for me? Yeah, research is great, but it's great for the people that they tested. What about me if I don't respond to these? Like, is this worth my time? Is this going to make me worse? Am I going to suffer flare-ups from this? And the key here is to really address the root issue before you start any type of rehab plan or any type of exercises on your own, because that's going to allow you to build on top of it when you figure out the cause of your issue. Not everyone needs to strengthen their rotator cuff, okay? Even though you see all this stuff about it, it doesn't always mean that's the root cause of your issue. Because there are some people we've worked with in the past, and we could sit there and strengthen their rotator cuff for 3 months straight. We could see no pain relief and no changes, right? Whereas if we just worked on their neck or their mid-back mobility, their pain just melts away. Okay, it really depends on the cause. Sometimes it's coming from a nerve in the neck or the shoulder. Other times it can be coming from weakness of muscles around the shoulder blade, not the rotator cuff. So you really have to get a good, thorough assessment. I cannot tell you how important it is to invest in a good assessment because that's going to dictate how you get better. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Comment down below if you have any questions. And if you guys really want to fix your shoulder pain and you want to perform your daily movements without any pain or thinking about it and perform sports, right? Perform weightlifting like overhead press, bench press, incline flies, whatever it may be, something that's holding you back because of your shoulder pain, then you want to text the word shoulder to 1-475-241-7993, and I'll be sure to get you a free shoulder pain fix demo to get you started. All right, thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next video.